Greetings! Welcome to another video. It's a bit of a talky one, this one. A couple of pickups at the end, not got a lot to show. Probably six games. I'm not going to talk about them too much because this is not a pickups video. So this is basically just a because I keep getting asked when I'm doing streams, shut up dog. When I keep doing streams, I keep getting asked what do I think of the Switch 2, and I find it there's a lot of things I'm going to talk about here. By the way, I've got a little list here to talk about on my thoughts on the Switch 2, but when the question comes about, are you enjoying the Switch 2 or what do I think? It's hard to answer for the console itself because, as everybody knows, I've said it a million times, a console's only as good as the games that are on it. And essentially, we've got one game, which is Mario Kart World. I know there's other games out there that have been made exclusively for the Switch 2, such as that Fast Racing Neo or whatever it's called. I haven't got that. And the other ones you can get on other systems and whatnot. So essentially Mario Kart World. So I can't really say too much about the Switch 2 right now as a whole, if you will. I'll talk about Mario Kart World. What I will say on Mario Kart World is that I'm quite surprised actually about, and I'll tell you, I'm probably a good example as to I know Mario Kart can be quite a competitive game for a lot of people. It's some people take it seriously, don't they? But the thing is with Mario Kart World, it literally is a lottery. It's just complete chaos. I like it. It's a lot of fun. But I can imagine I hadn't played, well, this is a lie, but I played Mario Kart 8 to death on the Wii U. And I hadn't played it since until I got the Mario Kart 8 on Switch only months back with the 5 DLCs on it. I know there's 6, but I happened to get the version with 5. I got sent the wrong version. I should have got the one with everything on it, but I didn't. But I thought, well, I don't even know what the 5 DLCs entail, so I just kept it. And I put it on, played one game online, and I was well out of my depth. You know what I mean? And what I mean, so in contrast to that, a lot of people are going back to Mario Kart 8 because they're not happy with Mario Kart World. And I get it, there's no point. I've seen videos saying, oh, the best car is the baby buggy or whatever it's called, baby boomer, but there's a baby one. And then the best character is the Toadette or something like. Doesn't matter what character you have, what car you have. It's not a game of skill on Mario Kart World. I don't believe that anyone can be that good at it because it's just a pure lottery. It's just an absolute shit show, but a shit show of fun. So I can imagine that a lot of Mario Kart 8 players, serious Mario Kart 8 players, are very disappointed with Mario Kart World because it doesn't matter how good you are at it. You know, you could be in first place, literally looking at the finish line, and you can end up in 14th. And that's what it's about. It's just a lot of fun. But I can imagine, like I say, it's disappointing for a lot of people who love Mario Kart 8. And like I say, I'm not one of those because I played my majority of time on Mario Kart 8 was, like I say, back on the Wii U days. Talking about Mario Kart, we'll talk about this. The Nintendo Switch camera, which I believe this is the only game, Mario Kart World is the only game compatible with this at the moment. I pre-ordered this before I pre-ordered the Switch. Just because I couldn't get the Switch, I thought, oh shit, what can I pre-order that I could get my hands on, kind of thing. I thought that this could be good. I thought people would use. No fucker uses this. Nobody uses this. This is going to be in the bargain bins of Nintendo shite, along with bloody Wii U steering wheels. And I paid 50. Oh, interestingly enough, I paid 55 quid for this off the game collection as a pre-order. And they recently gave me a £5 refund. It must be 50 quid now. I don't know. But yeah, I've used this once playing with Kevin Wolford, 123, just to test it. It works well on Mario Kart World. I think it works really well. It serves the purpose. But unfortunately, what would make this fantastic, and it's never going to happen, but what would make this fantastic is if it was open to everyone. If you can go in a lobby with camera functionality, if you could go in and say, like, if Nintendo made a, like, I don't know how it would work, but like an adult lobby, if that may, I know this will never happen, but the restrictions on that, you have to be a friend of somebody that has this to play online. If you could just play it online like you do with anybody anyway, but you can use the functionality of this and chat at the same time. Obviously, there's going to be profanities chucked at everyone. Oh, you're a twat, cunt. All these words, that's probably why it's been restricted. But the very fact is, if it wasn't restricted online, this would be fantastic. It would be great fun. But no fucker uses it. Nobody. Everybody's bought it. It's going to be sat on the shelf. And what I didn't know when I bought this is that there was a couple of hoary ones that got released with the Piranha Plant. And there's another hoary one, which you don't often see a lot of people talking about it, but it's just a little black camera, little square one. And apparently you can use normal USB cameras anyway. But yeah, works well with Mario Kart. Am I going to use it with Mario Party Jamboree? No, I'm fucking not. I'm not even going to... This is a pointless piece of kit because it's not universally usable. Just because of restrictions in the games, you've got to be friends with people. If you could use this with everyone, or there was a lobby where camera only, beware, adults only, or whatever it was, this would be fantastic. So that's my thoughts on that. Just pointless shit, really, but works well. Right. One of my concerns with the Switch 2, as was a lot of people, was backwards compatibility. Since having the Switch 2 and having a sizable Switch 1 library, although I haven't played, hundreds of games of Switch 1 on Switch 2, but everything I have played has been fantastic. I've had no issues, faster loading times. Some games seem to look better. Some games seem to play better. That goes with, if it's been capped to the frame. The frames, if it's been capped, the game itself and whatnot. And some games run better. One game that I did try, which I absolutely loved on the PS3. Or was it the PS3 or Xbox 360 I had? Anyway, I had it on one of them. And I completed it. And I thought it was fantastic back in the day. But I got the Switch 1 version. And oh my God, it played like a bag of shit. It's probably one of the worst games that I got in my collection. Not the worst game, but the worst running game, if you will. And it was Lollipop Chainsaw. Because it played like shit. And interestingly enough, I played that on Switch 2. and it still plays like shit. It's not. I don't. It's. I was hoping to see an improvement in that, but I didn't. But I've had no problems with the backwards compatibility at all. Hence, my Switch OLED has been boxed up, packaged up, everything in the box, and it's there sat on a shelf now. God knows what I'm going to do with it, but I know a lot of people are selling the original Switches now, aren't they? Because there hasn't really been an issue. There's only an issue with Nintendo Labo, I think, which is understandable because you put the screen in certain cardboard contraptions, don't you? So yeah, so backwards compatibility I think is fantastic. If you're worried about that, getting a Switch 2, don't. It's brilliant. I'm going to talk about an accessory now. This really pissed me off, right? And I don't see anyone talking about this at all, right? And I'm a gamer that, I'm going to show you the accessory that pisses me off. And you're all going to be like, what? It's fantastic. And it is fantastic. And it's this. It is the Switch 2 Pro controller. This controller is amazing. It's fantastic for what it does. Absolutely, these two buttons here probably going to be redundant forever. Who knows? But what pisses me off about this controller, I like to, and if a lot of you that have got this controller have probably not experienced this yet, but I like to, when I'm playing my games, I like to wear headsets. Sometimes, if it's got a good soundtrack or something like that, or it's quite immersive, the sound, or it's got an option on the game, like, for headphones, I'll wear headphones. Now, this has got a headphone jack. So one of the differences between the Pro Controller and Pro Controller 2, apart from, the cosmetics of it all, is it's got a headphone jack that you can just see there. It is absolutely dog shit. And I cannot tell you how bad or how low the sound is with your headphones in this thing. Now, before you start shouting at the screen, I know there's a setting within the Switch 2 to turn off, lower the maximum volume from your headset. I've turned that off. You try and use a headset with this, even at full volume, you fucking can't hear anything. It is that low. They've completely nerfed the sound of it. It is one of the most useless fucking things on this controller ever, because the sound is so low. It is unreal. Even at full volume, whatever headset you're using, it doesn't matter. Now, obviously, you can combat this around Bluetooth. So I use a Bluetooth headset now, anyway, as I did with my old Switch. But I'm talking about the functionality that is at hand here. Putting headphones in, do it. If you've not done it, do it. It is so low. Go into your Switch settings, by the way. Turn off the maximum headset thing, and you'll think it's still on, but it's dog shit. It is terrible, absolutely terrible. Anyway, that's that bit. No way. Right. So the other thing I want to talk about is game keycards. Now, people are so fucking dumb. It's unreal, right? So I'm on X, Twitter, and I see a lot of people. I watch a lot of videos saying we don't want keycard, we want full on-cart games. I get it. If you're a collector, which I kind of am with Switch, nothing else but just Switch. You want full on-cart games. Now, keycard, where do I go with this? Initially, I was not that bothered about keycard. As I mentioned in the past, some PS4, some PS5 games aren't on the disc. I don't hear anyone complaining about that, and they still have them in the collection. And yet, people are going mad for keycards, which, again, is something you can trade in. It's something physical in a way. It's something you can lend a friend. They can play it. They can download it. So it's not like a code where it's stuck to you, if you will. But what's been bugging me about game key cards is why publishers. Sorry, I've got a really dry face today. Dry. Could do put some cream. Wait a minute, let me get some moisturiser on. Got some here. Really dry. It's so warm. Right. Yeah, so game key cards. So what am I trying to say? Right, so yeah, people are so dumb because I go on Twitter, I watch it, and we all want game key card. We all want full on card, right? Okay. Now Nintendo, their games are coming out on their own cartridges. The full games are coming on their cards, the 64 gig cards, essentially. Now, on the original Switch, I think you could get 8, 12, 16, 32. That's why, you could get so many indie games and all that because they're cheap to produce. You pay for what size you need, kind of thing. But what people are asking for, and what if they would pay it, they just don't think. People don't think. So there's a couple of examples. So I've only got 2 other Switch games. Okay, I've got Room Factory, which I mean, this is another. For me, it's controversial anyway. And again, nobody seems to be complaining about it. But I think it says on the front. Let me read the small text there. It says the Nintendo Switch 2 edition comprises the Nintendo Switch game and the Nintendo Switch 2 edition upgrade pack, right? The upgrade pack is also available separate. So let me tell you what happens with this game. I'm not too sure. I did see somebody's video about this. So this is essentially the Switch 1 game. But if you put it in a Switch 2, you get the Switch 2 version. But if you put this in the Switch 2, there's a 12 gig download, right? So it makes me think that this is just the Switch 1 game. When you put it in the Switch 2, you've got to download the Switch 2 version, right? I don't think that's the case. Or maybe it is. This is what's confusing to me about this. I watched a video with a guy that put his Switch 1 or both of them in aeroplane mode. And he put this in the Switch 1 and it ran from the cart. He put it in the Switch 2 and it ran from the cart. But I think it was just the Switch 1 version on both consoles, regardless. I think. I could be wrong with this. So when you turn off aeroplane mode, then you've got a 12 gig download. And I think that's where essentially you're downloading whatever the Switch 2 needs to play the Switch 2 game. Now this was, I think, 47 quid. For essentially Switch 1 game. Okay. Now you can get this on Switch 1 as well, as I've said. Standalone, which is cheaper than 47 quid, I think. So we got that. And then we've got the key card. Okay. We've got a key card game. This was 38 quid, 37 quid for the key card, right? Now, this isn't an indie game or anything like that. It's quite a well-renowned series. My point to all this is that I saw I saw a Twitter post 2 days ago from Red Earth Games. And Red Earth Games asked a question saying, what would you like to see? Would you like to see keycard games priced at 40 to 50 euros? Or would you like to see physical on-cart games for 70 euros? And there was a poll, and 93% at the time said physical on-cart they would like. Now, I'm hoping people at Red Earth Games aren't dumb thinking, yes, everyone wants physical on-cart. There's no way anyone is paying 70 euros for an indie game that is physical on-cart. It's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. And this is what people are fucking dumb. They don't realise if you wanted everything physical on cart, you're going to be paying 60 quid probably for that game. On that indie game that's 20 to 25 quid on Switch 1, you're going to be paying 55, 60 quid for that indie game on Switch 2 because you want it on cart. Are you going to pay it? No, you're fucking not. So stop asking for physical on cart. Stop it on Switch 2 because you're just simply not going to pay it. You're going to play it for your first party titles, yeah. So, for instance, if that, unfortunately, the new, I'm a big fan of the Trials in the Sky, Legend of Heroes series. I'm a big fan of that. I've got the whole collection on Switch that is available right now. And Trails of the Horizon or Into the Horizon 2. No, Trails Through Daybreak. Or is it Horizon? Anyway, the latest game. It's coming on Keycard to Switch 2. Or the full version is on Switch 1. I'm going to have to get the Switch 1 version. Right? But that is a premier game. It's like a premium game. So if the full on-cart version was like 60 quid, I'd probably get it. And this is where they're missing a trick. Nobody knows what they're going to get and what they can charge. But that is the kind of game where they should release the full game on cart because it's got a big following. People collect the whole series. And it's hard to know where to go with it. What I am interested in, and there seems to be no information about it, and I'm not surprised, but I'd like to know the production costs that it costs to make a 64 gig cart and why so many third-party publishers and whatnot are saying, no, we're going key card. It must be really expensive. But like I say, to the people that are crying out for physical on cart, you're dickheads because you're just not going to pay the price for an indie game full on cart. You're just not going to do it. So if that was it, we'll probably go pre-orders all the way so that they're not, publishers aren't losing money, and your pre-order sticks, you can't cancel. If that was the kind of thing, if that's the way we're going. So there's a huge thing about it where I don't think people are thinking about what they're saying. They're not factoring in the cost, about what it costs you for physical on-cart indie games, you know what I mean? Because like I say, the Switch is rife with indie games, quality indie games though. Not a lot of shovelware shit. But yeah, it's people just need to think about what they're saying, I think. So anyway, leading on to the next one. This one is very, very brief. But sometimes I do some streaming, as you've seen. Not for everyone, I know. But one thing that I've noticed recently is that I don't know what's happened. I've not changed anything on my PC, but I know there's been a few updates to the Switch 2. And when I first got the Switch 2, and and I used to be able to stream from it, and it looked fine, everything. Then last week, the colours were washed out when I was streaming. I had to turn off the HDR on the Switch for it to work. I don't know whether that's something that Nintendo. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, just something I wanted to mention. If anyone's had that same experience, get in touch. So very quick pickups. I've got Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Don't have a Lego game. I had the urge to play a Lego game, so I managed to pick this up. This is what I've been playing recently. I finished this on every other system except for PC that it's been on, and now I'm playing it on the Switch, and it is. I haven't played it on Switch 1, but I believe that this did have issues, but it runs fine on Switch 2. The only problem, this is so bizarre, the only problem that I've had where it slows down is when you open like a rare chest, and then the things pop out, loads of things. Sometimes it can slow down at that point, but when there's loads of enemies on the screen, fine. It's just weird. And it is Diablo 3. The Eternal Collection, really enjoying that at the moment. This is one, I need to get the first one. I got this because it was super cheap. I don't know, maybe a tenner or something. I can't remember where I got it from, if I'm honest. And it is Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope. Plays a little bit like the XCOM games, I think. But I mean, this is the second one, but I haven't got the first one yet, but I know it's really cheap. Uncharted Collection. Just last year, I finished I may have done it before, I don't remember though. I finished the first one. I remember finishing the second one really back in the day. And I'm currently playing the second one. And the third one, I've never played ever. And the fourth one, I played to death online, but never played the story. So I thought, you know what? I'll go back to it. This was only like £8 or something. So I got that. And I got Star Wars The Jedi. I got the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. If you can see some steam coming up, it's because I've got my coffee cup though. Coffee. Fancy giving this a go. Again, super cheap game. I've started it, really enjoying it so far. It's bloody hard actually. So I got that. And the last one is Gotham Knights. Again, another game I played briefly when it was on the PlayStation Plus thing. Quite enjoyed it. So I thought, you know what, I'll pick it up. And that's it. So, yeah, so let me know what you think on the Switch overall experience, not the Switch 2 as a console, really, because it's hard to say, but, you know, your thoughts on Mario Kart World, accessories, keycards. I'm interested to know. I'm interested to know whether I've got it wrong, whether people would pay a premium price for indie games at full-on cart, or whether you just get the Switch 1 version of it. Yeah. So thanks for watching, and thanks for being yourselves.